portions of tonight's program are in black and white. I'm sorry. In the beginning, the first big hit was, of all things, the society columnist Elsa Maxwell.
I see your holster's beginning to show, dear. She's armed. Oh,
I'll have you know...
What are you doing there? Watch it. You'll start an avalanche. Watch it there.
So charming and sweet are all this audience, not only you, because of course you're first, but all through the country. They've sent me 8 pairs. Have been sent to me by...
8 pairs of
little
what?
things to fasten up something. I don't know what fastens up. Look and see. What fastens up? I don't know.
I mean, it holds the...
I don't know. Wait a minute.
Are you wearing 8 pairs, or what?
No, I'm not wearing any. I probably would have to.
How much weight did you lose?
There's Maurice Chevalier in this house. One of my own friends.
You know, my dear, see, it's courtesy that I should sit down after you, but I never know when you're going to drop it, you know? I don't know.
Drop what?
She can be in midair longer than anybody I ever saw.
Have you ever spoken so frankly before the public?
Oh, I don't think I've ever been asked questions like this before. I have not.
Well, you're with Big Mouth. The question then is Hoffa an improvement over Dave Beck?
Oh, there's no comparison between Mr. Hoffa and Mr. Beck. Mr. Beck was just a thief. I mean, this is not...
We may be in court together, you and I. I hope the hell you know what you're doing, because I don't know anything. I'm just...
I'm leaving the Tonight Show. There must be a better way of making a living than this. You have been peachy to me always.
Here's Jack!
As I was saying before I was interrupted... I believe my last words were that there must be a better way of making a living than this. Well, I have looked. And there isn't.
From NBC in New York, where Jack Paar is alive and well. And now, here's Jack.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish he hadn't mentioned my name. I wanted it to come as a surprise. You know, it's very flattering what you did, but you should never stand up at NBC, because when you go to sit down, 200 kids from Saturday Night Live have taken your seats. You gotta always be. I'm happy to be back here for the night. It's something to look forward to at my age, other than falling down in the bathtub. There's not much to look forward to. Oh, I just wanted to say that, ladies and gentlemen, and old friends that are here, and distinguished members of the press and the theater that are here tonight, and also to the members of the New York City administration who are out on bail. I think that's... I also want you to know I didn't mean to give The Tonight Show to Johnny Carson. I just wanted to rent it to him. But he's been such a big success, and we're friends, and he still remembers, and this time of year I always get a fruitcake, and it's very, very nice. You know, my life is mostly telling you little stories, anecdotes about my bizarre surroundings and happenings, and the thing is, you don't believe most of them, and I don't blame you, because most of my friends say, I don't think that happened. Well, I wanted to tell you the latest thing that happened. Last year, NBC did the 60th anniversary show on the West Coast, and they called me and said, we wanted you to come. And I said, well, you know, I don't do that kind of thing, and I don't want to do it. And they said, well, look, Bob Hope, Johnny Carson, Milton Berle, and you are the National Broadcasting Company. You simply must be here. Well, they paid my way, and my wife, we went out, evening clothes, black tie, formal clothes. We went to Burbank. Now, Burbank is a studio that I had never worked in, you see, and it's a vast place with many, many entrances and enormous parking lots. And so I got out of the car, and I didn't know where to go, and I went to a page, and I said, I'm Jack Paar. And he said, get in line. So I said, no, you know, there's Berle and Carson and me, and in line. Well, the line was okay, but I didn't see Berle or Carson or anybody else in that line. It was mostly the typical studio audience from the West Coast, you know, that it looked like, you know, like a bus station in Calcutta. You know, they were T-shirts and suspenders and a jockstrap, you know, just awful. And I knew I didn't belong in this group. But anyhow, I kept asking. She says, get in line. And finally, I swear this is true. I'll prove it in a moment. I got into the theater. I swear to you, I was placed in the audience of the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I know that's hard to believe, so someone is standing by in Burbank, Pat Sajak, who was involved in this. Oh, there, the Bobby Breen thing is back here. Hey, Pat, come in and tell him.
Now, this is my dressing room here at NBC, and I was in here that night waiting to tape Wheel of Fortune, and there was a knock at the door. I go to the door. It's Jack Paar and his wife Miriam, and they're wearing lovely evening clothes. And now you have to know that Jack, when I was growing up, was my hero, my role model. So this was very exciting for me, and he extended his hand, and I took it, and we shook for a long time, and he finally said, I'm Jack Paar, and I said, I know, and he said, you're apparently the only one in the building who does, because I've been standing in your line all evening, and I have to use the bathroom. So I invited him in. He used the bathroom. He came out. He asked if I could show him where the studio was. It was right across the hall where he was supposed to be. I pointed to it. I assured the pages here it was okay to let him through, and that was it. And people who know how I feel about him would ask, you know, what was it like to meet Jack Paar for the first time? And I would say, I don't know. We shook hands, we stammered a lot, and I had never stammered before that evening. He used my bathroom, he went to the studio, and that's it. Somehow I'd always hoped there'd be more.
Thanks, Pat. The other day, I was in a dark control room editing a lot of the tapes. I have 90 hours of tapes, and I was editing them in a dark control room with two guys, very dark, and they had a show of mine on that I thought was kind of funny, and in came a girl with coffee in the darkness for the two engineers who were editing it, and I sat there, and she looked up at the screen, and she laughed, and boy, I was pleased, because a young girl to laugh at me is a big thing to me. Well, young people, you know. And as she left, she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, you know, that guy's a lot like Dave Letterman. I do have a stammer, and it's, I've been, not cursed, I'm a very lucky man, but I have two things that are faulty. I have this stutter and stammer, which happens every now and then I have the dimple. And while I am handicapped, they still won't let me park in those places. You know, I still have to. One time, a famous story that happened here was, I don't know, I'm going to explain something to you now. A teleprompter. See, there's no script on this show, and there's no cue cards. There's not room for cue cards. This is a very intimate studio, as you can see. This is what Phil Donahue used to use. He no longer is here. He is teamed up with Oprah Winfrey because there weren't enough rape victims for both of them, you know, and so he had to. One time, see, the Tonight Show used to be different. It was an hour and 45 minutes, 11:15 to 1, every night, and live. So I wouldn't get home till 3. It was a very, very tough show to do when it was live. And what happened was I would, you know, wear sport clothes in, gym shoes and stuff, and then I'd change to these nice clothes that I would have there, and then I would go back and then jump in the car and go home around 2 o'clock in the morning. And one morning, I realized I don't have any money. I left the money in the other clothes. Now, all I'm talking about is a lousy quarter for the toll booth. But I can, in my paranoid personality, work up myself into a rage. Well, what'll I do? Well, first, I'll give him my wristwatch. No, that's... I'll simply say to him, I had lunch yesterday with the Attorney General of the United States, which I had. That's corny. I know the President very well, which I did. Now, that's wrong. Well, who does he think he is to keep me from trying to get home? No. What I will do is use my deep announcer's voice and very coolly and sophisticatedly tell him. I pull up, roll the window down, and in my voice I said, I don't have any money! And the guy said, we had a good day, be my guest. About my stammer, there used to be a story, apocryphal, I'm sure, at NBC, and a lady calls up and she said, I don't understand NBC because you have Barbara Walters and she can't say R's and L's, and Tom Brokaw can't say W's, and that Jack Paar stutter, I mean, really. And may I speak to the president? And the operator said, yes, here's the president. And the president says, hello? I'm only supposed to be charming for 10 minutes. Have I done enough?
As far as we're concerned, you've done enough. How about a commercial?
That's a very clever idea. Yes, yes, indeed.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of 800 numbers danced in their heads. Mom, Dad, and even Aunt Sue had toll-free numbers in their heads, too. Just weeks before Christmas, they made all their calls. They didn't even have to go to the malls. And when Christmas came, everyone could see all the 800 numbers were now gifts under the tree. There was even a book of 800 numbers in sight. Happy AT&T 800 shopping to all, and to all a good night.
Introducing the powerful Black & Decker Handy Blender. We made it compact to fit your kitchen. We made it cordless and portable to fit your lifestyle. The Black & Decker Handy Blender for the holidays.
Debbie Reynolds, that sweet, innocent-faced, charming young lady, came on the show one night. Now remember, we had never met. We had never spoken to each other until the moment you'll see. What I do remember clearly about that evening was that, I shouldn't laugh, she had been going through a rather well-publicized divorce with Eddie Fisher. And as an amateur gentleman, I naturally wouldn't mention that, but in some silliness, I did. and the rest became front-page news for several days. Let me show you this scene 27 years ago from the 60s.
You like a well-built Jerry Lewis.
He's a very good dancer. Ooh. So you are very good.
Beautiful. I never knew she was this beautiful or attractive.
I knew you were attractive, but I mean, what idiot?
What a build, as they say.
Yes.
It's a new, it's a big call.
Do they?
Yeah, man. Were you this rough on Fisher?
I can't stand a stuffy, formal guest.
I think Eddie is out of his mind.
I will tell you, she is the funniest lady I know, Debbie Reynolds. It's like Bergman and Boyer after 27 years meeting again. You are a funny lady. She has the keenest ear of anyone I ever know. There's no one she can't do.
I just think he's so funny because, you know, when he called me to, you know, no, the point is that, you can, this is the truth. When Jack, you know, called me, he said that, well... When I call her, it's like calling Johnny Winters because I never know whether they're in or not because there's a different voice every time, and I think I've dialed wrong. And the last time it was Betty Davis, and she does the greatest Betty Davis I've ever... Well, when he calls, it's always... First of all, no one believes. They say it's Jack Paar calling, so I always say, hello, how are you, Jack? How do you feel, darling? Are you quite well? I wanted to come on here and grab him and, you know, kiss him and throw him on the floor again, but after all these years, I'm supposed to be more ladylike, so I figured, oh, you know what the hell. Well, I mean, you got a class up at my age, you know, Jack. You have a lovely navel. You know? I mean, that's more than I... No, see, I have these dresses designed because they just... I just show the one leg now, because, you know... Well, I think it's enough. I mean, why show both? You know, everything else is shot. Oh, I can't believe it. You're involved in a strange way in my marriage. In that, well, wait. Hear me out now. I am not a big believer in pantyhose. I think it's a turn-off. Now, a lot of men agree with me. I mean, if you're a bank robber, okay. But I mean, over your head. My wife goes prancing around in pantyhose, and I said, why don't you wear a garter belt like Debbie Reynolds? And my wife said, and how do you know that Debbie Reynolds? Well, I have a very clear
view of the garter belt, and I thought it was so attractive, and I wish Miriam
When did
would.
you get that view?
Well, if you watch the monitor, I found this the other day. Okay. Show it, please.
Well, why don't we undress you? Don't do that.
Now you can see it.
That's terrific. Well, let's take another view.
Oh, my papa. Listen,
Yes, Jack. What?
do
Well,
Katharine Hepburn. Do Katharine Hepburn.
Well, I really would be happy to do Katharine if you'd like to hear it. I mean, it all really has to be. I really love her.
You do.
I love Katharine Hepburn, and so I never like to make fun of a great lady.
No, we're not making
because
fun.
I don't ever make fun of her. That's the particular sound. All these ladies have these fabulous voices. Betty Davis, Hepburn, Mae West. I love Mae West because, you know, Mae West, the way she spoke was because she never raised her top lip. You know how we smile like, hello. She kept... And then she lowered her voice, and she rolled her eyes.
What about Barbra Streisand?
Well, sure. Well, I mean, Barbra Streisand has another way of talking because, you know, I mean, it just depends. You see what I mean? Well, after all, she's a superstar. Because, you're a superstar.
Can you do, I know a famous story you do about Jimmy Stewart.
Well, because, you know,
Does he stutter?
Well, yeah. We were doing a film together.
Do you think he stole it from me?
Well, you're the right age. I think, we were doing a film called How the West Was Won, and it was a Cinerama. You know, the camera in Cinerama was, you had to stay in back of this camera because it's shot everywhere. And it was cloudy, and we couldn't get the shot because we couldn't get any sun that day. So we all told stories for 2 hours. I mean, Carl Malden and Agnes Moorehead and Carol Baker and Duke Wayne and everyone is, and all the extras are in a circle. We're all telling jokes. We're out of jokes. It's 2 hours later. So he leans over and says, are you all out of jokes? So we said, well, yeah. He said, he pulls up his chair. He says, I have a little story for you. It's the story of this man, and he's walking his dog, and another man is walking his dog, and he says, what kind of a dog is your dog? Oh, well, the man says, my dead dog is a Mexican Spitz. Well, I never heard of a Mexican Spitz. Oh, yeah. So just then the little dog leans over and grabs the guy and he says, Senor.
I think we should repair to the restroom and get ready for the next things that you're going to see. Whatever that
Let's
means.
go talk to Dr. Roos, whether we can move.
Nice kid.
Hi, Dad.
I heard.
He had 2 cavities.
It's time for ACT.
ACT fluoride rinse can cut cavities 40% more than brushing alone, because ACT gets to surfaces a brush can miss. ACT now to reduce cavities 40%.
Your first fishing trip, then this fever hit. But I know the children's Tylenol is already working.
Children's Tylenol to bring fever down fast.
I wouldn't trust anything else for you. It's the one most pediatricians give their own children.
Why trust anything else?
To babies about the Kodak Color Watch system.
Psst, babies, learn to talk now. See those big people taking your picture with the wonderful Kodak film? Tell them to get great developing, to look for the Kodak Color Watch seal. Color Watch means great developing. See, this seal says every picture is printed on Kodak paper. Come on, babies, your photos are important. Don't take this lying down. Kodak Color Watch for great developing. You're gonna thank me for it. Goo goo gaga, goo goo tippy.
Betty Lou just got a gift. Foot-soothing deer foams, the gift that soothes.
Betty Lou's got a new pair of shoes. Betty Lou's got a new pair of shoes. Betty Lou, wow, wow, wow. Betty Lou's got a new pair of shoes.
Foot-soothing deer foams, soft and stretchy, foamy and fun. After a day in shoes, you owe yourself the gift that soothes.
Mary Lou's got a new pair of shoes. Mary Lou, Sally Lou, Betty Lou, wow.
This Christmas, give foot-soothing deer foams for feet that are dear to you.
Beep, beep, new, ooh, surprise, sponge cake.
Tunnel of fudge is luscious fun. Just 6 minutes and it's done. A special treat to tantalize. Inside is a fudge surprise.
Loving from the oven.
Pillsbury.
New tunnel of fudge. Taste this, kiss, kiss. The microwave cake. You can't resist. Pillsbury. Giggle, giggle. Loving from the oven. Beep, beep.
We were in awe of Mike Nichols and Elaine May in the very beginning. They were on The Tonight Show a great deal and on my other shows. They were the most talented young people I had ever seen. And how could they come from nowhere and be so gifted? And the word comes to mind, I hope it doesn't embarrass them, but genius might work. I'd like you to see them now, and young people, I'd like you to see the kind of humor we had in the 60s. Not all were this brilliant, but as I said, Mike Nichols and Elaine May were a class act. Watch.
Information.
Operator, will you give me the number, please, of George Kaplan, K-A-P-L-A-N, at 4411 Huguenot Walloon Drive?
That is George Kaplan.
Yes, that's right.
That is Kaplan.
Yes.
That is K as in knife, A as in aardvark, P as in pneumonia, L as in luscious, A as in aardvark. Once again, N as in Newell Post Kaplan.
I think so, yes.
Just one moment, sir. I will look that number up for you.
Thank you very much. Operator, if you could try to hurry.
I am looking the number up for you.
It's just that I'm terribly late here, and I'm hoping...
That number is listed in your directory.
Operator, there is no directory here, I swear to God.
Will you please take a pencil and write the number down?
I promise, I definitely will, yes.
The number is audible fired.
Hello, operator. Hello.
Information.
Operator.
Information.
Operator, you just collected my dime.
Information is a free service, sir.
Yes,
When you hang up your dime, will be returned to you.
Listen, I know it's usually a free service. See, the thing is, in this case, I heard the dime, you know, hit all those other dimes. I know it's in there, and I wouldn't bother you about a dime. The thing is, it's my last dime. I have no change, and my car has just broken down. I'm already over an hour late for an extremely important appointment, so you can see that it Hello?
Information.
Operator, please return my dime.
I cannot return your dime to you, sir, until you hang up. When you hang up, your dime will be returned to you.
No, it won't, operator. Listen to me. I know that sound. I've heard it all my life. That dime is in there.
Information cannot argue with a closed mind. Why don't you try hanging up?
Because I can't take the chance. I'll lose the dime. I'll lose you. Look, miss, look, can I go over your head? Is there someone else I can speak to? A human being?
You wish to speak to a human being?
Please.
Is this about your alleged dime?
It's a real dime.
Oh, Don, just one moment, sir, and I will connect you with the information supervisor.
Oh, thank you very much. Listen, operator, hello?
Information.
Operator, listen, there's no chance that you would say, accidentally jostle something with your elbow and cut me off completely.
We do not work with our elbows, sir.
Oh, come on. Oh, this is terrible. Oh.
Information supervisor. Can I help you?
I sincerely hope so.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute ago, operator.
Supervisor.
What?
This is the information supervisor.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Supervisor.
Yes.
Just a minute ago, one of your girls inadvertently collected my last dime, and as I was explaining to her, my yes.
Bell telephone doesn't charge a dime.
This I know.
When you hang up, your dime will be returned to you.
I just went through
Information is a completely free service.
Not tonight! Now, miss, please try to understand what I'm saying to you. I'm speaking as one human being to another. Forget that you're an operator.
I'm a supervisor. Information supervisor.
All right, well, Supervisor, Bell Telephone has stolen my dime. That's what it comes down to. And I'm simply going to have
just
to...
a minute,
well, that's
sir.
what happened. You
No,
stole it.
just a minute.
I trusted you.
Bell Telephone didn't steal your dime.
That's exactly what they did.
But Bell Telephone doesn't need your dime.
That's exactly...
The Bell Telephone Company gets millions of dimes every day. They didn't pick out your dime.
Yes, they did. They picked it out and they stole it.
If you don't like the way we do things, why don't you deal with some other company?
You know there's nowhere I can turn. You've got to do something.
I'm not going to argue with you.
What do you mean you're not going to argue
You mean to
with
sit there and
Well,
tell me that you think the Bell Telephone Company has stolen your dime?
Exactly what I'm saying.
I'd just be very happy to return your dime to you.
You will?
Yes.
Oh, bless you. Thank you very much.
Not at all. What is your name and address?
Miss.
Yes?
You're going to send me a whole lot of stamps, aren't you?
Yes, we are. That's right.
I knew it. Look, I've received stamps from you people in the past, and it's a wonderful surprise. I need the dime now. Look, can I go over your head? Is there someone else I can speak to?
Yeah, I can connect you with the managing supervisor, Miss Jones.
Please.
Who isn't going to be able to help you either. Why don't you give it a whirl?
Miss Jones, please. And look, please hurry. Please.
Hold the line.
Yes.
Managing supervisor, Miss Jones. Can I help you?
Oh, Miss Jones. I'm so glad I finally got a hold of you.
What is it, sir?
Miss Jones, this is my story.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh. Miss Jones, a long time ago, one of your operators inadvertently collected my last dime.
Oh, my God.
And you see, Miss Jones, as I explained to her, my car has... I'm sorry. I don't usually do this.
Please, you go ahead and cry. Bell Telephone understands.
Thank you.
But you lost your dime.
No, she took it away.
Sir, if Bell Telephone has taken your dime, they will be very happy to give you a free call for that dime.
Oh, Miss Jones, if that's true, I'll never forget you as long as I live.
Well, that's true,
Oh,
sir.
thank you, Miss Jones.
It's our pleasure to serve you.
Thank you.
You just give me the name of the party you're calling and the number.
Miss Jones.
Yes, sir.
You're dealing here with a broken man. She took the dime before I ever heard the number. Look, forget it. I don't care anymore. Something has snapped in me.
Listen to me, sir. If you will give me the name of the party you're calling, you do know that?
Yes.
Then I'll look the number up for you right here.
Bless you. The name is George Kaplan, Kaplan, is in Newell Post?
Right. Hold on, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes,
I have that number for
thank you, yes.
That number is ought to been 1954.
Oh, thank you, Miss Jones. Now tell me what to do.
Hold on to your receiver.
Hold on to the receiver.
Until you hear the dial tone.
Wait for the
Then dial your number,
Dial,
sir.
dial.
You have a free call.
Thank you, Miss Jones. I'll never forget you.
This is a recording. You have dialed a wrong exchange.
Car and Driver calls it one of the 10 best cars in the world. Road and Track calls it one of the 10 best values in the world. We simply call it Ford Taurus.
Winning the world over. You're winning. Have you been behind the wheel? Winning the world over.
Now, during Ford's Leadership Celebration, get a $600 cash bonus on Taurus.
Batteries can lose their freshness waiting to be bought. But only new Duracell battery packs have a freshness date that guarantees they're fresh. Freshness dating from Duracell.
And now how about this? Perfumey. He'll hate it. This one. Oh, he'll hate it. This? He'll love it.
This Christmas, give him the clean classic scent of Old Spice.
I love it.
Jack Paar is alive and well. Will continue.
Hi, I'm Paul Simon.
And I'm Linda Ronstadt.
This week I'll be hosting Saturday Night Live.
And I'll be singing a Mexican song.
The comedy will be in English.
But that doesn't mean you'll understand it.
Next Saturday, Patrick O'Neill's a Bel Air killer, and Dale Robertson knows it.
I want Starbuck stopped.
If there's a bit of proof,
we're going to find it.
After the comedies, J.J. Starbuck next week.
This News 4 update is sponsored by Ninex Yellow Pages.
These developments coming up on News 4 at 11. The jury in the Howard Beach trial spent its 10th straight day trying to reach a verdict. The police admit undercover surveillance of minority groups.
The appeals court rules on the hospitalization of a homeless woman. The court divided sharply over the treatment of Billy Boggs. Dairy workers and drivers take a strike vote. That story and more coming up on News 4 at 11.
See you then.
Isn't my hair marvelous? Peter did it, you know.
Didn't we meet in Cannes last year? Or was it Bora Bora?
So let's talk about you, darling. What do you think of my dress?
Well, Rod said, let's go up to Mick's house.
Both my Ferraris are in the shop. I hate that.
I see modeling as a stepping stone.
Sure.
But what I really want to do is direct.
Oh, you're right.
Hi. If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
The starting gates open Saturday night as top trotters and pacers return to the Meadowlands. Come to America's #1 harness track, the Meadowlands.
The most intriguing people of 1987, Monday on Live at 5.
In 1962, that was in the last week that I did The Tonight Show, there was a young man who came on the show. He'd been on many times, always did very, very well. This night, something happened. It was the biggest explosion of laughter I had ever heard. The encore went on and on. Now you say, oh, that's that Jack Paar building everybody up again. Well, the point is, I'm going to show it to you, and you'll see.
I want to leave you with the words of another great man, Ed Sullivan. Ed Sullivan, who unfortunately has been stuck in his collar all his life. That's why to this day he walks around like this. Here for the very first time on any stage. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on any stage, I'm going to present 900 Episcopalian rabbis.
Now, you know how me and my superlatives. I'll tell you right now, this is the end of the whole darn 5 years. That's the funniest routine I've ever seen in my life. Bar none. Hey, I'll sign you right now at your highest price. The highest price you ever got.
I am really thrilled and stunned that you should say this. I've worked very desperately hard for so many years to reach this point, just to be acceptable on television. And to reach the point where you would say this to me touches me very deeply. I'm very, very grateful. I really am. But I can't make it.
Can I please sell something? No, that probably, Jackie, was the greatest moment. I mean, there were a lot of great moments on this show, but I never saw anything that funny. And you did everything just like I told you to. That's what pleases me so. Not one false gesture.
I'm really very grateful. It's very kind of you.
Now here's...
As a matter of fact...
Oh, shut up.
That was a great moment. Okay. That was a great moment. Now, here's a greater moment. Here is the talk of Broadway, Jackie Mason.
Well, it's a thrill to see me again. I didn't know I was such a big hit, otherwise I wouldn't have come back so cheap. I am delighted to find out that I'm a stand-up comedian again here. I'm just looking at myself. I look a little older than I did. But I didn't come here to tell jokes. I'm too successful. I don't need this. I'm very touched and grateful by Jack Paar. It's amazing how much Gentiles go for Jewish comedians. When he talked about prejudice that I suffered from in this business, I really suffered only from prejudice from Jews who felt I was too Jewish. I never suffered from any prejudice from Gentiles. I only bumped into Jews who kept saying he's too Jewish. Jews are proud to be Jewish as long as you don't sound Jewish. After every show on Broadway, there's at least one little lady that comes over to me and says, "You don't have to talk like that. Why do you talk like that?" Hey, can't you talk like me? Talk like a regular person. It happens, all the Jews I know tell me how proud they are of Jewish identity. Jewish identity is so proud, so proud, proud. Then they cut off their names, they cut off their nose, they cut off everything they got. They cut off everything. Do I look Jewish? No, thank God for that. I see you have to be thanking God for whatever you are. Maybe that's why we live in a great country like this. This is the greatest country in the world. Any country that could have Ronald Reagan for president of the United States. I'm not going to make fun of him. I can't stand those type of comedians. I hope you don't get the wrong impression. I hate comedians who make fun of a person just because he don't know what he's doing. I think he's one of the greatest presidents that ever lived. That's my honest opinion. It just so happens this is not his field. No matter what happens, he never read it, he never saw it, he never heard about it. Every time you see him, he jumps on a horse, he eats jelly beans and runs and runs and runs. He's always busy and busy. They keep hollering, "Mr. President!" They keep hollering, "Where you going?" He's busy coming and going. He's a great president. It's a whole new experience in the presidency. We never had a president before who doesn't get involved in politics. It's not his business. That's why he keeps laughing all the time. He keeps laughing and laughing. Nobody knows the joke. I found out what he's laughing at. He can't believe he got the job. He's just the opposite of every president we ever had. Every president always looked troubled and miserable. Remember how Carter looked so buzzed and nauseous, and remember Johnson terrified to hug him. Remember Nixon nauseous to choose. This guy. Every president we ever had was always going crazy because they could never figure out the solution. This man don't know there's a problem. I like him best when he's doing nothing. He's so proud when he's accomplishing nothing that you can't tell that nothing happened. When he came back from Reykjavik from that meeting with Gorbachev, he made an announcement. Nothing happened. And everybody said, "Thank God, that's it." Then he jumped on a horse. "Where you going?" See, the guy that should be president is Ted Kennedy. That's the man I like. Because he's a brilliant man. Nobody knows how brilliant he is, because when he talks, nothing comes out. He's running for 20 years back and forth. Nobody knows a word he ever said. Nobody ever heard him. All his life, he's saying the same thing. They said, is that true? Oh, I never said that. Oh, I said, Should we can't have a country, Why do people say that I said, I never said that. I said, And everybody said, he's right. See, Henry Kissinger had the right answer to this whole situation. Do you know what Henry Kissinger said? You like it, you cock it, you teach it, you pocket, you pocket like it. Many people have said to me, you just once and for all, we have to remember, they pocket, they like it, they pocket ticket, this, they pocket that. Why should we take it, they pocket? We could never say like that. Once and for all, I said to the president, I should wish the president, you have to remember, they pocket like it. We could never say pocket. Otherwise, it's up to you. There's only one great speaker in the world today, Jesse Jackson. Everybody will tell you that Jesse Jackson is the greatest orator of our time. Everybody says it, even though they never heard one word he said. He's the only guy who talks worse than Ted Kennedy. Nobody ever heard a word he said, but they think he's brilliant. They don't know why, but they hear it rhyme. When it rhymes, it rhymes. I don't fly, I don't go, I don't die, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to leave you now, but I don't know how to get out of here.
A lot of beautiful moments in life have been messed up by lousy photography. But this couldn't happen with the Nikon N4004. It's an autofocus, autoflash, 35mm SLR that makes it almost impossible to take a bad picture. The N4004. The only mistake you can make is buying something else.
Uncle Henry, I can't wait to see these pictures.
Now, fly Pan Am and get a companion ticket for half price when you buy a Nikon.
Why do I wait until the last minute to buy gifts, especially for my wife?
Isotoner gloves. What a great gift. He's so thoughtful. He always plans ahead.
What can I get her that will fit? There's lots to love. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, Santa, honey. Isotoner gloves. And in black. They're so slimming.
Isotoner gloves. You've got a great gift on your hands.
Hey, mini Ritzes, unbelievable.
3 sizes. They're
very tiny.
Delicious.
I need bigger hands.
New Ritz Bits. Every bit as good as a Ritz.
Milk-bone dog biscuits, dog treats and flavor snacks. Merry Christmas, pal.
Share an enchanted evening with Cosby's Keisha Knight Pulliam, the Golden Girls' Rue McClanahan, and St. Elsewhere's William Daniels in the holiday movie that'll warm your heart, The Little Match Girl. Then join the President and First Lady in a special celebration of the holiday season with host Barbara Mandrell, Marilyn McCoo, Jack Jones, and more in Christmas in Washington, Monday. Wednesday on Highway to Heaven, a department store puts Santa in jail.
I gotta get out.
Now, Jonathan and the kids must fight the courts to save Christmas. Then Loretta Young stars in a touching story as a mother struggling to bring her family together for the holidays in Christmas Eve, a special night to share with your whole family, Wednesday.
Have you met Deborah Needle?
Oh, I know. She makes up for me. She marries everybody she sees.
Okay, Deborah. Now, you told me that you said you thought that you knew him when he was an Irish actor. You said that.
I did. I did, Jackie, when he used to talk like this. I mean, it's long before your career started. And then I was on the way, I was talking like this. Like, everything all of a sudden becomes Jewish. Like, I mean, it's really terrific. I like your accent.
Sounds like Henry Kissinger to me.
No, Henry talks, I loved you, Henry, like, I have to run this tape forever. No, well, you know, when I was married, naturally, I'm two Jewish men before, and it took me years to learn how to perfect the ch in Jewish. Like, I'm being a shiksa, you know, Nazarene religion and all that. You don't pronounce the guttural sounds, so you don't, you know, tuchasov and tish and and then like mishpucha. You know, it cost me $30 million to learn how to do
Why did you never marry?
I didn't marry because I don't need a partner.
Well, marriage isn't...
All my life I work alone. What do I need a partner for? It took me a lifetime to become a hit. Every time you make enough money, somebody else decides that you make enough for her to move in. There's no system in the world where one person makes all the money and the other one becomes your partner for nothing. For nothing. I can understand it. Years ago, there was a reason to get married. Years ago, a Jewish wife or any wife, they used to cook for you, clean for you, work for you. They did everything on the side for you. Today, when a woman says, I do, that's the last thing she does. And not only that, the marital institution in this country is basically a fraud. It's a fraud in most cases. If marriage means the exclusivity of an arrangement where two people are faithful to each other, that's the most essential premise of marriage, the basic ingredient. The basic idea of marriage is the faithfulness between two people towards each other. Nobody is faithful anymore. It's marriage in name only. Most people are liars and frauds in their marriages. It's a hypocritical institution now, because 80% of the married men cheat in America. The rest of them cheat in Europe. The truth of the matter is Jewish women cheat even more. I don't know if you heard about it. No. Italian women don't cheat because an Italian woman knows if she gets caught, she'll get killed. A Jewish wife takes a chance because if a Jewish husband catches her, is he going to hit her? A Jewish man would never hit. He'd call up his mother. What should I do? What should I do? Throw her out? How can I throw her out? The guy is still here. What do you want from me?
You know that Jackie was a rabbi. Did you know that?
That's right. Why, you think they thought I was a priest?
What?
You think I was a priest?
No, what I meant, the philosophical part of you is deeply ingrained in your faith and all.
Thank you. I'm glad you thought it up.
I think the 25 years of hardships that you did have when you didn't work and didn't play the big houses or the big theaters or the big anything. But I think that sadness that you had, and I know a little bit about it, I think that's what's made you so damn funny today.
I don't think you need that to be so funny.
You'd rather die the other way.
I don't think you have to get wiped out to become hilarious. I think getting wiped out doesn't make you funny, it makes you nauseous. Yeah, it makes you miserable. But the truth of the matter is that I never lost my sense of humor, and I didn't consider myself such a tragic person. I think people are too involved in their own ego trips, and they take themselves too seriously, and their own stardom becomes the only thing they have to live for. You ought to thank God you're living on the side, that you're making a living, you have your strength and your health, and you can look through the window and see what life is about. Yeah.
There is you have some funny stories about Gentiles and Jews and Italians and cooking, that the Italians are always in the kitchen.
Right. Making, I say a Jewish wife can't find the kitchen.
Is it true that there is a resentment about the princess jokes that are going around, the Jewish princess? Is it, would you say
there's a resentment about those jokes, but it's because they resent the jokes. Their behavior hasn't changed, the jokes they
Don't they cook? Jewish women can't cook?
Jewish women, if they cook, they don't like to cook. Before they make one meal, they make 12 deals. If I cook today, I don't cook tomorrow. If I cook tomorrow, I'm off Thursday. Friday, I'm at a Chinese restaurant. Saturday, I'm at another Chinese. Every Jewish man that gets married knows he's going to spend the rest of his life going from one Chinese restaurant. They make a deal with a Chinaman before the wedding that this will be it.
What about Italians, Italian women?
I resent Chinese people anyway. They never eat in Jewish restaurants. Well, that's the truth. For 5,000 years, every Jew is eating in a Chinese restaurant. Do you ever see one Chinese person in a Jewish restaurant? No, I never did. I never saw a Chinaman saying, I'm looking for a piece of gefilte fish.
What about Italian women? Now, they're good cooks.
Italian women do cook. They're still in the kitchen. Go into any Italian home, I don't care if it's 4 o'clock in the morning, sauces are flying. Every room has a sauce in the toilet, in the hallway, in the kitchen. I got the sauce, in case he comes home. Haha, the sauce. It's not nice to categorize people. You can't generalize 100% about any denomination. But you can't deny that cultural values do pertain. You are, to some extent, a reflection of your history. If you travel the world, you'll notice people do behave differently in different countries. You can't compare a Japanese wife to an American wife. Obviously, they behave differently. A Jewish husband is comparable to a Japanese wife.
How do you,
I didn't find that.
how do you feel about that, Miss Needleman?
Oh, Miss Needleman. Well, I think you'd make a very good husband.
Does anyone here have an idea how we can end this damn show? I've been trying, I tell you, for the last 20 minutes, I've been trying to think of an ending.
You want me to tell you the truth? It didn't have a beginning. Why did you think?
Last night, my cold was so bad, my kids baked me brownies. My wife brought me a robe. But then I took Tylenol. It worked so well. Maybe Tylenol worked a little too well.
For this much relief, we started with the ingredient in Tylenol. Doctors recommend that most for a cold's achiness. Then added 3 more medicines for coughing, sneezing, congestion.
So I'm not coughing or stuffed up, but I had to do the dishes, walk the dog.
Tylenol helps stop all your cold symptoms cold.
One of these women is a Fuji picture.
I'm gonna get you.
Can you spot which one? Fuji's ultra-thin color layers give you better skin tones. And pictures so alive they almost breathe. Get Fuji Super HR Film.
Sunday on Family Ties, it's a special Keaton Christmas. When Alex plays Kris Kringle, it's laughing all the way.
Merry Christmas and good luck in the fiscal new year.
And on My Two Dads.
You're not going to sing now, are you?
Dick Butkus and the Dads making a comedy Christmas.
I never got a horse. I got a cat once. I named it Flicka. I sat on it and it ran away.
Then Michael J. Fox discovers a monstrous family secret.
An explanation is probably long overdue.
And becomes the ultimate party animal, Teen Wolf, Sunday.
I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed you being here tonight. And we have to bring this thing to an end, and I can't think of anything. So may we just go among you and wish you a happy holiday.
Later, Paul Simon hosts and Linda Ronstadt provides the vocals for Saturday Night Live. And on Sunday, don't miss NFL Live with reports, previews, and analysis of Week 15 of the NFL season. Then it's a football doubleheader with live NFL action at its best. Stay with NBC and don't miss a minute.
Tuesday Christmas is murder.
Put that down. What are you doing?
A girl's father is jailed, and it's adventure in babysitting. But will it all pan out?
That's my job.
It's a merry Matlock. Then Crime Story has a special time, and so does Torello.
I was with a woman that men make love to in her dreams.
But this dream becomes a nightmare on Crime Story after Matlock, Tuesday.
These developments coming up on News 4 at 11, a 10th day of tension as jury deliberation continues in the Howard Beach murder trial. The police admit they violated guidelines on secret surveillance of political groups.
An appeals court has ruled that the city has the right to hospitalize homeless person Joyce Brown, also known as Billy Boggs, saying a lower court should have paid more attention to psychiatric testimony. And dairy workers and drivers vote on whether to strike. Coming up next on News 4.
At the age of 12, David Hedges had a dream. One that went beyond childhood pursuits to flights of fancy. His dream was to fly, to soar, to touch the sky, Today, David's dream is a reality. He's a Delta Airlines pilot, and his love for flying is a feeling he's never lost.
We love to fly and it shows. Taylor, California, the taste that's right at home. Taste, Taylor, California, always right, day or night. The taste that's right at home. The taste that's right at home. Taste, Taylor, California, Taylor, California.
Taylor, California Cellars, the taste that's right at home.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Give a new unwrapped toy to Toys for Tots.